On today's show, Steph Curry finally cools off, but he still thinks he should be MVP. The Knicks win their 8th straight. Julius Randle can have all the MVP chance he wants. And there was a wild ending in Philly. And there was a wild ending in Portland. It was a 12-game night. A lot of wild things happening everywhere. I'll break it down for you. I'm Taz Mellis, and this is what you need to know in the NBA for Thursday, April 22nd. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Let's jump into a 12-game sked. Warriors, Wizards. We got to start talking about Steph because he has been the talk of the NBA the last month or so. Top 2 scorers in the NBA meeting. Steph Curry recently passed Bradley Beal for the scoring lead because of his scorching hot month. But Curry finally had a bad game. He is human. The day he told Rex Chapman, yeah, I should be MVP, he finally had a bad one. Only 4 points in the first half. Warriors and Wizards commentators both saying he's not going to have a half like that again. Curry didn't think so either. Heat check after heat check after heat check in the second half, but it just wasn't his night. 2 of 14 from 3, 7 of 25 overall. He had 18 points. His streak of 11 straight games with 30-plus points ended. His first rough night in a month. Imagine being amazing at basketball for a month. He was near perfect as you can get for 1 month. All that, and the Warriors still had a chance to tie it late. Andrew Wiggins missed after the Warriors got a big turnover with 16 seconds left. Wiggins missed a layup to tie it. Golden State has had some heartbreakers during Curry's streak. They could have moved up the play-in tournament standings. Kent Bazemore missed late free throws versus the Celtics. Against the Wiz a couple weeks ago, there was a 4-point play by Beal after Wiggins fouled him late. So the second loss to the Wizards in 13 days. And Russell Westbrook should take some credit for pressuring Steph all night, and he should take some credit for his late game play this season. Listen to a reporter ask him about his field goal percentage in close games and Westbrook's sarcastic response.
You actually lead the NBA in clutch field goal percentage in the last 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, we love sarcasm here on What You Need to Know. We're Canadian, after all. Some better news than expected after the Wizards' Deni Avdija suffered what appeared to be a gruesome injury. Teammate put a towel on it right away. He went off in a wheelchair. Wizards head coach Scotty Brooks was watching it on an iPad a minute later on the bench. It definitely had a feel of one of those really horrific injuries, but better than expected news after the game. A hairline fracture won't require surgery, according to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, although the rookie season looks to be done. Prayers up to Deni Avdija that he's all right. Suns, 76ers. We had an angry Joel Embiid in this one. I loved it. He wasn't happy with the officiating. Then he had little guys guarding him. His former teammate Dario Saric trying to guard him. So Joel Embiid just got into the lane and said, "Get off me, Dario. Get off me." He had 38 points, 38 and 17 boards. Embiid was a beast. He banged his knee in the third quarter, sat behind the basket with a towel on his leg. Sixers fans holding their breath. He rested on his back, but he came back midway through the fourth. He had a great game late. Everything going through the MVP candidate because Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and Steph Curry were out for the 76ers. And we're glad he came back because he gave us an incredibly epic miss that will go down in NBA lore. Sixers down 3, 0.8 seconds left. Chris Paul missed the free throw. Joel Embiid grabs the rebound and in one motion heaves it the other way. It went in and out. Couldn't get any closer on an 85-foot shot to tie it by Joel Embiid. An absolutely epic miss for Joel Embiid. Chris Paul had 28 in this one. I cannot wait to see Chris Paul in the playoffs. He has that 1A beside him in Devin Booker. They seem to be working so well together. They both can finish games. Devin Booker had a really cold night against the 76ers, but then with 13 seconds left, such a tough shot fading to the baseline. He scored 8 straight to end the game. We talked about the injuries this season on Wednesdays, What You Need to Know. This is a decent shot for Chris Paul to get to his first finals. I know the West is loaded, but it seems a little bit open because of all the injuries that are happening. And you've got a slightly inexperienced Utah Jazz, the Nuggets banged up with Jamal Murray out. The 2 LAs aren't fully healthy, although the Lakers' Anthony Davis scheduled to come back today, Thursday versus the Mavs after missing 30 games. look, I could just be in the moment here, but the Suns are tough with that backcourt and the perfect supporting cast. They are inexperienced too, most definitely. A lot of those guys. The finals are a long shot, but the playing field is leveling out just a touch. Moving on to the top team in the West, the Utah Jazz. They beat the Rockets. They have the best record in basketball at 44-15. A very quiet best record in basketball. Quieter than the Bucks last season? I say so. Not Hawks visiting the New York Knicks. The Knicks won their 8th straight game. What a Cinderella run. Every game it seems to happen for the New York Knicks. They came out firing. They hit their first 5 threes. The Knicks are 6th in three-point percentage in the league. Name one good three-point shooter on their team. This was supposed to be their weakness coming into their season. You can't name a good three-point shooter on their team. A lot of their guys are having career years behind the line, including Julius Randle. Randle getting MVP chance in the Garden. Yeah, let it rain down on you, Julius Randle. He had 40 points. What a year for him. Derrick Rose, 20 points for him, 8 of 12, nearly identical to the previous night. Rose has been so good this season. But to tell the whole story here, a big part of this win against Atlanta was Trae Young getting injured. Hawks up 8 late in the third when Trae Young sprained his left ankle. Didn't return, but x-rays negative, MRI Thursday. The Hawks fought. Bogdan Bogdanovic, who's been hot, sent it to OT with a 3, but they didn't have enough in the overtime period. The New York Knicks, have moved into 4th in the Eastern Conference, but they have a real tough schedule the rest of the way. Moving on to New York's second best team, the Nets. Yuck. They visited the Raptors in Tampa. The Nets on a back-to-back, but the Raptors aren't going to feel sorry for them. No way. They ran them out of Tampa in the second half. Pascal Siakam led the way with 27. 3 members of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were wearing Pascal Siakam jerseys courtside. Ken Birch has solidified things in the middle for Toronto. The Raptors have won 4 in a row. I'm not getting overexcited for the Raptors, though. My heart can't take it. Good news for the Nets. Coach Nash said Durant could be back this weekend from that thigh contusion. And if you're a Blazers fan, I'm sure your heart can't take the losses. Denver visiting Portland. Damian Lillard back after missing 3 games with a hamstring injury. Portland had lost 6 of 8 coming in, a couple in heartbreaking fashion. And even though Damian Lillard had 22 in his return, that didn't prevent another nail-biting loss. Jump ball with 8 seconds left. Blazers down 1. Norman Powell somehow came out with it, had a chance to win it on a floater, but it rimmed out. The Nuggets continue to get it done without Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray has undergone surgical reconstruction of his ACL. He posted a photo of him in the hospital. Just a reminder of the rehab that these guys often undergo. Prayers up to Jamal Murray to get better. With the Blazers loss, the Mavs jumped on the opportunity to move up in the standings. They beat the Pistons and now sit only half game from the playout tournament, aka 6th in the West, behind the Blazers. They played the Lakers and Anthony Davis on Thursday. Grizzlies Clippers. Great news for the Grizz. Jaren Jackson Jr. making his season debut. He suffered that meniscus injury in the bubble. Apparently, the 21-year-old has grown since then from 6'11" to 7 feet. He had 15 and 8 off the bench. The Clippers came back from down 18 early to win this game. Timberwolves Kings. This game was like the Spider-Man meme. Just looking identical because they both can't get on track. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. The Timberwolves haven't won consecutive games since the first 2 games of the season, and it looked like it could happen. They were up 10 with 5:30 left, but they gave it all back. Buddy Hield hit the game winner for the Kings. OKC, Indiana. Pacers, 7 guys out. OKC, 5 guys out because they like it that way. They're sitting there, guys. Pacers small ball 1 out, and so did OKC in a way as they're happy to plummet down the standings. They've lost 12 in a row. Chicago, Cleveland, Cavs absolutely hammered the Bulls. Nothing you need to know from this game. Although, quick story, Cavaliers coach J.B. Bickerstaff missed the game because of personal reasons. Assistant Greg Buckner filled in. Earlier in the day, Cavs center Jared Allen said he had no idea his assistant coach's first name was Greg because everyone calls him Buck. Did you need to know that? Probably not. And the Heat won by 20 in San Antonio. It was Miami's largest margin of victory in San Antonio ever. 12 games, all done. Make sure you check out the full No Dunks episode here on Thursday. I'll be back to give you the news as fast as I possibly can tomorrow. See you then.